Do you want to know my biggest regret doing pharmacy? Stay tuned. What up guys, it's your boy Kevin Yee the Farm D, aka Kevin the Refugee, refugeehustle.com. What up guys? If you can't tell, I'm at the Mother BU, baby. You know, recently I've been thinking about just doing like in the car or like really everyday videos again, because I thought at that point in my life was really therapeutic. As you guys know, I've been unemployed and I think it's honestly been really healthy for me. For the longest time, I just realized that being in the pharmacy and never really taking a break in my life to spend time with family was the worst decision of my life. I think about how many Christmases, Thanksgivings, all that shit I missed, and now that my dad's gone, was it really worth it? You know, I made a pretty good amount of money like with pharmacy, but I feel like it's probably the next chapter of my life. There's like a lot of things I'm realizing, like even though I'm not pulling any income right now, I'm just living off my savings and I'm just living at home. It feels amazing. I feel like I have a richer life than I used to back in the day. I was actually watching this video by Derek Halprin. He actually talks about
back when I started my business, I had a full-time job. I would show up to work an hour early and I would go to the coffee shop across the street. Then, as is typical at most corporate jobs, I get an hour lunch break. I would eat in about 5 minutes. I would go back to that coffee shop and work on my business. Then, at the end of the day, I would go back to that coffee shop and work on my business.
if you want something really bad, then you'll wake up early for it, you'll grind for it, you know? And for me, every single morning I wake up just to work out, just to work on my project, work a 12-hour shift, go home, try to stuff my face, use every single lunch break just to make Refugee Hustle or build my product, you know? But what happened? Each time when I got to the keyboard and stuff, I was just always so fucking exhausted. And it's hard to be creative when you have that type of environment. Even during my lunch breaks, like I would never get like a real lunch break. I always had to counsel someone in between and stuff. It was just very difficult for me at that time. One thing that I realized too is just like, dude, I think of so many more creative solutions when I'm unemployed, when I don't have all these things, you know? I'm allowed to be a little more creative with my solutions. And I'm not saying I'm never gonna do pharmacy again, but I don't think anybody's gonna blame me for wanting to take some time off for myself for once in my life, build like a product, like my investing course. No one's gonna fucking blame me, man. I think that's sometimes like the real truth. I was talking to my boy Matt Tran, Engineer Truth. You guys might know him. He's telling me that it was immensely easier when he quit his job and tried building something of his own. And for me, like, I've made more progress in a few days than I did in 3 years, which is fucking crazy. I love pharmacy. I love everything about it, but sometimes I think we have to really assess the culture that we're in and assess whether we want to do this long term. I just did a podcast with Tony Farm D, and he was saying like,
instead of thinking of it like, okay, I've got this retail job for 50 years, just think, all right, well, this fits me for my early 20s, but let me make sure that I got something going on for my next, late 20s, early 30s.
Dude, in your 20s, pharmacy is pretty sick. I mean, you make a 6-figure income, you get to help different people using clinical skills. There's so many things that you get from pharmacy, but is it really sustainable? 5-10 years? Maybe not. And everybody's a little different. I'm a hard worker, and I think that's one of my biggest strengths, but sometimes you can't always outwork your obstacles, you know? You gotta be a little smarter about it, you know? And I think I was just pushing myself to exhaustion. I've been unemployed. I just love sleeping 8 hours and just grinding, man. I work probably more hours doing all this like Refugee Hustle stuff and Steam It. If you haven't checked Steam It, follow me at Kevin Yee. Shameless plug. Honestly, it feels great because I make more money through Steam It than I ever did through YouTube or anything like that. Like, I'm able to think of these solutions, like my loans. If my mom can pay off my loans, then I can give her the interest and make sure she's okay. Like, my brain is always constantly thinking. A lot of times we think that these obstacles are pain in the ass. They are stopping us from our dreams. So no, actually in reality, a lot of these things, they actually push us to get what the fuck we want. Especially like being unemployed has made me realize how much people really believe and care about me. I'm so fucking lucky. I have so many friends, who support me, who, give me the pep talk when I'm really down in the dumps. Because no lie, honestly, sometimes I feel like a complete fucking failure. It's hard because I've always built this image or image of being that really successful pharmacist who had a really sound career the whole time. But sometimes things don't go the way you want it to, and you know, it's okay. That's what my dad used to say. I'm not like much of a hippie believer and shit, but I really do. My dad's looking out there, and everything that has happened is meant to happen, and your biggest growth is ahead of you, as Ramit Sethi says. Let me know, what kind of obstacles are you going through in mother life? For me, it's unemployment and not pulling any income. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get to work, and maybe I'll give you the BU tour, baby. God damn, it's fucking cold. Oh yes. And that's how I do my work, baby.